When I was around 19, I matched with a guy on a dating app. Let's call him Brad. At first, he seemed a little arrogant, the kind of person who always needs to be right, but I figured it was harmless. That changed very quickly. After I made it clear that I wasn't interested in him, his messages took a dark turn. What started as annoying comments soon became frightening. He began sending me threatening messages, the kind that made my skin crawl. He said terrible things, the kind no one should ever read. Then he found out where I lived, even though I never told him. That's when I knew I had to take it seriously. I saved every message, every screenshot, and I called the police. They confirmed that what he was doing was considered a criminal threat, but unless he actually came to my home, they couldn't do much. Still, they took his information, including where he worked, and told me to stay alert. I also warned my dad, just in case, and shared a photo of Brad. A few days later, I found his social media profiles. He wasn't exactly subtle. He had listed his workplace, his family, and even his photos in public. So, I did something a little bold. I sent screenshots of what he'd said to a few of his family members, including his mom. She replied a few days later, apologizing over and over, saying she and her husband were on their way to confront him in person. I didn't hear what happened next, but I hoped it gave him something to think about. Time passed. A few years went by. I was older, stronger, and one day I remembered what he'd done. Part of me wondered, had he ever faced real consequences? So I decided to make sure he did. I created a post on social media. I included his public photo, his name, and the screenshots of his threats, not out of revenge, but to warn other women. The post spread faster than I could have imagined. Thousands of shares, messages, and comments from women thanking me for speaking up. Soon, his employer began getting tagged in the post, and I figured they'd just ignore it or issue some corporate statement. But I was wrong. A few days later, I got a message from one of the women who worked at his company. She told me they had taken it very seriously. Apparently, the company's HR team and even their CEO, who was a woman, called him in for a meeting. 2 days later, Brad was fired and escorted out by security. His first real job, gone. His reputation, gone. His name now carried a shadow he couldn't easily escape. I didn't celebrate or brag. I just sat there, quietly relieved. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about closure. When someone threatens your safety, you carry that fear with you for a long time. Knowing that I had stood up for myself, that I had taken back that power, meant more than any apology ever could. I never heard from Brad again, except for one message from a relative saying what I did was unfair. But deep down, I know it wasn't unfair. It was accountability. It's been years since all this happened, and I've moved on. But I tell this story because too many people stay silent when they're threatened or harassed. If someone tries to intimidate you, document everything, protect yourself, and tell someone who can help. Your safety matters more than someone's reputation. In the end, all I wanted was peace, and the moment I stopped being afraid was the moment I got it.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more.